No! 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 It will go and happen again. I wake up. Find myself in a different room. Taste the party. Check. And we watch another Nine of the Dashi thing. Check? That's new. I don't think it's prepared. Let me see. A pet? No, we haven't even done it. He's saying we haven't even done it. I had a big dream with all your mind in it, and you're talking it, and you haven't done anything. Okay. I am crazy. I'm crazy. Well, you're always crazy. So, what was the sequel? Yes. There's 7 million of bloopers at the end, so we're going to skip all of those. Epic BG! Best name ever! Take me, are you okay? No, I fell! Do you think I'm okay? Eternity? Ah! She can see my soul! What away! Screw, are you okay? No! That is not funny, Elliot! Not funny! Sorry. Sorry! Sorry! Ow, 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 ow! Skim! Stop it! Ow! Stop it, Scoob! Stop it, Scoob! Stop it! Stop it! Wow. I finally comprehended what had happened when I felt another tear streak its way down my face. I had found my daughter. Somehow. Yeah, it's me, Dashi. We can be together again. Forever this time. Yes! Forever! With no 4 more weeks! Except for now, because we're breaking the 4-4! 4-4 breaking! No, 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 you gotta make the camera! We are no more than a few feet away from each other now. Sorry. See the pain in her eyes, her thoughts rushing to comprehend what's happening. It's okay. Daddy! What's up? She reached her nose up and touched my chest. Probably because she couldn't believe I was actually there. When she made contact with my chest, her face beamed like nothing I've ever seen before. Awesome! When she got her cutie mark, she pulled me into an embrace and said these 4 words. Daddy, I love you. Aww. I love you too, Dashi. And I love my teddies too. Aww. A myriad of stars could be going supernova and nothing else would matter. Yes! Supernova! This falls on the stars! Oh great. Teddy Bean probably gone to expose all the stars in the summer. Yeah, why would he do that? Now let's see how we actually did it! Oh yeah. I see you crying, Teddy Bear! I see you crying! No, I'm not crying. I'm just okay here. I'm not crying. Ow! Ow! I didn't know this bit of salt lock. There's no way for you or me back to Earth. We live. All that matters is we're together. Nothing will pull us apart again. Nothing. Not Princess Celestia. Not her protege. No one. I've been living in Equestria for just about 5 years now. 5 years? Cottage on the edge of Ponyville near the Everfree Forest. I'm no more than a short minute's walk from Fluttershy's cottage, actually. Dashi's dreams came true. She's a wonder bolt now. And apparently she has both her memories from the television show adventures, as well as the ones shared with me on Earth. She's frequently performing in shows, so I initially thought I wouldn't see much of her. go eventually. But she visits me daily, and she's always sleeping over at my cottage. Every possession I owned back on Earth was abandoned, left to be taken either by the passage of time or looters. But, by some mysterious force, that old photo album made its way into my new home.
Somehow, sometimes.
Sometimes I feel homesick,
That was
but then I remember
fast.
I'm not back home.
Hey, that was just wasted this, and I didn't have time. I could have wasted out the system.
My young adult years were filled with loss and bereavement. It will be
And
as if I had never
Scoob,
existed.
are you crying?
Hearing back
No, 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 no. That's better. What are you gonna do if someone cries? What's up? Oh! Ow! 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 I don't know why I hit myself, but ow! 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 Yeah. Hey, are you okay? Yeah. Ah, the magic of friendship. Friendship is magic. Friendship magic. Yeah, friendship magic. And the light everything goes how we end. Friendship every magic. Ow! Tell me you found out again! Are you okay again? Yes, I'm okay again! Don't fancy me down! No! 3 times! 3 times! The first time was you, the second time was me! The third time was me! You stupid! It can be a pony! It can be a pony! Everyone can be a pony! Okay. Everyone can be a pony!
I've experimented with a means of healing, and the closest I've gotten is sort of an arm-powered ring thing that half worked. One day I'll figure out something. I've been meaning to ask Twilight if she can assist me in getting a pair of wings like she did with Rarity in that old episode of Sonic Rainbow. But every time I see her, I forget. I guess I am getting old.
Hello.
Anything to be able to fly freely in the air with dashing. Just her, me, and the heavens above. Not a care in this world about anything at that moment. That moment, my little dashing. God damn it. I need it. I'm falling asleep on my couch with the photo album open again. Most of the pictures were spread about everywhere that they shouldn't be. On the floor, cracks of the couch. One even managed to make its way into my shirt collar somehow. Thank goodness none of the pictures were moved. I would have never given myself for even the slightest folds on even one of them.
Yes, I would have punched myself! Ow!
What happened, Pops?
I need to count every time that happens.
Go back to sleep.
So tired. Okay, so far it's 3.
Okay. Good night, Pops.
All together.
I love you too, Dashie.
You say you want me to count every time I hit myself
Performing
and all these yeah.
either fly hard,
Then I lost count.
dress, or get home. I still remember the game.
Years ago.
We'd been
Wait,
summoned to the princess
How long was I street?
quarters.
I don't know.
The cloud made
5,
absorb
10,
and
15,
all of them.
15. Was it 15? Yeah, 15 years.
Truth be told,
I was asleep.
the entire
Yes,
boring and used to
for
work out
15 years.
weekend
Yes.
everyone would be
Oh, god dang it.
at least a quarter of the entire population of the city was large
Hey, we could find a way back.
course of action.
But you still look young. The point, I still look young when my hair's been pulled out. What?
For about 1 hour, but eventually ended, came to a consensus.
Wait, someone must have used magic. Like young style.
All the able-bodied Pegasi were on cloud duty, pretty much
Who?
including the wings and the know-how was Fudge, who were on cloud duty. Dashy's group consisted of Spitfire corner balls and a purple mare by the name of Cloud Kicker, and another gray mare whom Dashy called Ditsy Doo. I think that's a
Gamma
good
Deeper.
name, just because she's clumsy, she gets a nickname for it. Some of the other ponies even have the gall to call her Derpy and play it off as if it isn't an insult. Still, the gray mare didn't seem to really bother her, so I guess I'm just yelling at the air. When Dashy and I left the castle, we said our goodbyes, hugged, and she left with her group to clear the sky. I did something I hadn't done in a while. I walked
What?
home and worked on a new wing project.
More walking!
Twilight's library. I knocked on
Yay, let's go to Twilight! Twilight! No!
heard footsteps
No, 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 no! Ah!
To my surprise, Spike had answered the door. I didn't know how the door had opened until I looked down at him. He looked exhausted. His eyes, which were glancing up at me, had bags around them, and the scales on them.
Highlight.
Twilight must have had him up reorganizing the entire library again. Hey, Spike, is Twilight here? Spike nodded and turned around, then beckoned for me to follow him. He walked up the stairs to Twilight's room. After knocking on her bedroom door, Twilight shouting for him to come in. Through the door, I heard,
Humans here, Dwight. He's got to talk to you or something. I don't know.
not very nice. Well, he is only a baby dragon, but still, at least learning my name would be enough. I do have a name after all. Most of the ponies just don't seem to care enough to learn it. I'm constantly being referred to as Ringo's father, Sir, or Mr. Dash.
Miss Dash!
Lying after the first 100 times. First it was cute, sort of. Now it just gets on my nerves a little bit. I'm constantly reminding ponies to call me by my first name, yet they constantly forget. Well, maybe there's a few ponies who remember. But I digress. I heard the door upstairs open, and the hoof steps echo down the stairs. I knew of Twilight's OCD-like behavior from the television show, and her habit of reading books for days and days when something goes awry, looking for a spell to cure whatever's wrong. But she looked normal. It really surprised me. I expected her to be unkempt and on the brink of insanity like in that old episode of Lesson Zero. But she
Lesson Zero!
that's the entire reason
And that so is probably old. Yeah, like 20 years old.
No awkward smile. Her ears weren't flopping, and her voice was calm and not erratic.
Hello, Brian.
Elliot, it's 15, not 20. Okay, 15 years ago.
I'm doing fine.
Then
I was
I
genuinely
should
concerned
be,
for her. What with the cloud troubles, I thought that she'd be burying herself in her books looking for a spell, but she looked entirely normal. I started to twiddle with my thumbs. I felt as if my request was silly, wanting to fly. Humans aren't meant to fly, not by themselves.
30. 30. I should be 30.
It wasn't even for Dash.
Well, you don't look 30. That's for sure.
Come true, literally. Dashy
Yeah.
share dreams sometimes. It's a side effect of the teleportation that we had both undergone.
Yeah.
In these dreams, I'm a Pegasus, but sometimes I'm a human. Dashy and I fly over forests, valleys, and mountains alike. I'm a full-grown Pegasus stallion. My brown coat is flawless. My wings are large and powerful. My jet-black mane and short cropped tail float gracefully in the wind. And from what Dashy tells me, I've got these giant blue eyes like Minky.
Biggie Bye!
I want to know if there's any way that I can fly with Dashy.
To the best of my knowledge, there are two things that I can do to help you fly. The first being a spell that will grant you temporary flight. It involves gossamer butterfly wings. It didn't work out too well in the past when I did it for the first time.
Gossamer butterfly wings seem way too delicate, and not to mention girly. I wanted something more durable and maneuverable. Who else could I talk to about getting wings, even if they were temporary?
Ding! I got Zikoi.
Zikora, of course. She's got a potion for damn near everything.
Yeah, damn it, everything. Wait, she choked you.
Once they caught the Gossamer wings, I wanted to fly, I didn't care how. But if it was the same one, no more.
They're high in Canada. Last time I did the spell, a friend of mine, a friend very close to me, nearly died. I wouldn't ever forgive myself if he got hurt because of me.
Twilight must have been talking about rarity during the Best Young Flyers competition.
Yeah,
Music
sounds
orders. I thanked Twilight for her information, zipped up my sweater, and made a mental note to visit Rarity later if Zikora didn't have a potion for flight. I made my way through Ponyville, attracting the occasional dog as usual, and eventually made my way through the town to the dock which led to the
oh, dude!
scary? Yes. Zikora's hiding far in the depths of it. After being spooked a couple of times by supernatural voices, stepping into my room every night, I eventually made my way through it. I knocked on the door and instantly heard a laugh from my Zikora opened the door.
Hello, mister. Is there a reason why you have disturbed my meditation and left me in a stir?
I didn't know what she was doing in the hut, but regardless, I'm going to ask her my question. Zikora, I'm terribly sorry for ruining your meditation, but this is rather important. I hope that you forgive me. Do you know of any way that I can fly? Once again, I felt incredibly foolish asking such a question. Zikora stared at me, confused. My guess was that she was piecing together a thought in her head.
If you wish to fly, you must not rely, for the gift of flight is a great feat.
I was trying to decipher the actual dead, and guided me through the hut over to the cauldron. Agreeing to a brief journey inside of it, Zikora walked over to a cupboard and pulled out jars and containers for celestials while she began to stir whatever was in the jars into the goo and mixed it along with the goo. The goo began to stir and bubble and changed colors from green to purple, like a blue, then to red, and finally settled on a dark yellowish orange color. The
Hello.
smells emanating from it made me nauseous. You know what? I'll spare you the details.
Jump.
Let's descend and smell the water. Zikora
Ali.
looked down the concoction and smiled at me.
Did you Trump? Badly. No. Sounds like it. Ow. Owie. Yeah.
What will this do?
If flight is what you desire, please take off your attire.
She pointed to the chest. Why would I? I stopped in mid-sentence. If I have a sweater on, my wings won't have anywhere to go when they're full. The sweat would probably ruin it. After taking off my sweater, I looked down to her and raised an eyebrow. She then looked up at me and nodded. I held both of my hands, tilted up.
Okay. Good.
Then I felt pain like never before. It felt like my scapula were tearing through my skin. I felt my knees struggling to stay conscious. Zikora frowned down at me and moaned something that was supposed to be. I shook and gritted my teeth at the as I let out a laugh.
Are you okay? No. What was that?
Dad? Are you home? You left the door unlocked. I opened the door to Dad's home and began looking. I had great news.
Okay.
I found a
It's
note on the
dead.
fridge that said,
Dashie, meet me at Twilight's. I've got a surprise for you. I know you'll like it.
Yes, adventure.
paper down, grabbed a snack from the refrigerator, and raced out the front door. When I arrived at the library, I knocked on the door. Twilight answered by poking her head out of the barely open crack. It was open just enough for her eyes to look out. Hello, Rainbow. Any particular reason why you're here?
Yeah.
Dad said that he was scared and that he had to
Yeah. I'm like,
Twilight opened the door a bit more, just enough to stick her head out. She wore a weird look on her face. Her eyes were shifting around a lot. She had a very small, awkward grin on her muzzle.
oh,
You okay, Twi?
no.
I'm fine. Never better. Hey, would you look at the time? I've got to close the library. See you tomorrow, Mabel.
You don't have to quit
Twilight
the
was
door.
really scaring me now. She was all messed up, but she kept trying to walk me away from the library. Something had to be wrong. Twilight, it's 3 o'clock. What's up with you? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. She began trying to push me out of the door, but I wouldn't budge. I was really beginning to get frustrated with Twi now.
I don't
Why
get
didn't she just open the door? What could possibly be so bad inside that I couldn't see it?
Yeah.
I took a deep breath and looked Twilight directly in the eyes. Twilight, open the door. She shook her head violently and then...
I must see a sheep.
No! Come back later.
Oh, I'm awake now.
I was beginning to lose my temper. Honestly, what was wrong with her?
I'm
I
starting
put my
to eat
fingertips on the door
this.
and began pushing
Hey,
it.
you were asleep for a while.
Open the door. I repeated
More
myself,
potion.
but she was just
No,
as
don't drink it. It's a sheep potion. The goal was to drug you with it. And now, oh, she said fucking. I can say us now.
I turned around and balanced on my front hooks and then jumped the door.
I can say us now. Yay! Oh, great. Here goes Elliot. Start it. Well, fuck you, fuck the truth, got it, I'm on the phone, no, the soul now. Gotta say, fuck you, and fuck the truth. Yeah, fuck the truth. Yo. Yo, 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 yo. Fuck it. Fuck you, fuck the you. Fuck you. And fuck this.
I awoke with blurry vision, terrible headache, and I was freezing cold laying on the floor.
And fuck these potions.
First thing that I noticed once my vision cleared up was that I'd been...
Have you done here?
I looked around.
Yes, I'm done with saying swear words.
Couldn't find her in the small wooden hut.
Okay.
I rolled over onto my back. Something was making it a lot tougher to do, but I eventually got myself
Wings!
pushed out from under the blanket and threw it off me. I felt something weighing me down when I stood up. I stretched my back, or at least I tried to. When I reached my hands backwards to push against my lower back, I felt something blocking my arms. I turned my head to my left, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw large wings protruding from my back.
Wings! Shit!
Giant gray feathered wings.
Wings! Wings! Wings!
I remember the
Wings!
motion,
Wings! 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 Wings!
so less to the pain.
Yeah, the pain! The pain!
Taking a molten hot stone, driven it into the skin just above my shoulder blade, and made a 5-inch long incision along the bone, and turned it around somehow inside me, and finally moved my scapula outside of my body. However, when I woke up, my scapula were inside my back, and still exactly where they should be. Zecora, it worked! Zecora! Hello? I heard footsteps coming from the direction of the door. When the door inched open, it revealed over-encumbered Zebra. She was struggling to carry her stuffed saddlebags, a few boxes that were resting on her back. She was balancing 3 or so boxes on her head, and carrying one medium-sized box on the ground in front of her. I walked over to her and picked up the box in her hand, the one she was kicking. I was met with a warm smile.
Thanks, Rude, for assisting me in carrying the ingredients that I have accrued. I see that the brew has been a success for you.
I nodded the best I could
I
with
have
the
no
massive
idea.
tower of boxes between my arms. I didn't know how to fold up my newly formed wings, and I accidentally knocked over a bunch of Zecora's souvenirs, as she calls them, that I put on the walls. I put the boxes down on the counter on the far side of the hut, opposite the door. Zecora, how long will I have these wings for? She trotted over to a giant bookshelf, stood on her hind legs, and pulled out an enormous purple book from the top shelf in her mouth. She threw the book down onto a wooden table, which made an audible thud on contact, and began reading off the page.
Potion of the Pegasi allows any pony the ability to fly, and the duration is not clearly specified. Possibly it is a few years, maybe just a single month. After that, time, the wings on your back will mold slowly, and the bone will weaken until it must be surgically or magically. Oh, horse apples.
She sunk her head down and frowned.
Well, fuck this.
Her head sunk down in a depression. Her ears flopped. I felt bad, so I walked over to her and knelt down next to her. She had just realized that nothing rhymes with the word month. Zakora, are you okay?
Finally, she goes to find me. I can stop it now. Yay! I can stop the joke. What's that? I have to wait whenever she calls around. That's the case. She wants to wear a towel, and soon she starts. I will never stop. Rhyming that is into the very end of time. Deep rhyming. I'm good at it. But good at it! Hey, but you didn't want that far. You did. Oh. Nah!
Zakora, what am I supposed to be looking for? Zakora motioned to me with her forelegs in a flapping motion. She wanted me to try to fly. I said goodbye, but she decided to follow me out of her hut. My wings were still at full span, and getting out of the door normally was impossible, so I decided to go out sideways. I stepped outside into the smog and began to try to flap my wings. I could feel the muscles, but I couldn't move them.
Rainbow Dash, please do not act rash. This is my fault, you see. It's all because of me.
Yeah, you gotta be the fly. And your fault for leaving the street for 15 years! 15 years, man!
I noticed the shadow
15 years!
from behind the mountain as Zakora. No pony else rhymes like that. Dad was stirring in his sleep.
Except she stopped writing. Still haven't gone halfway through.
Zakora, what did you do?
So we're gonna record for a whole hour. Have fun with that. Wait, we're recording for a whole hour? Yeah, 1 whole hour. What?
Then she told me why he was unconscious. He had tried to fly. What a feather brain. There's a reason why Pegasus pony fillies and colts don't fly. It's because they don't know how.
Oh.
From what Zakora told me, I can gather that he tried to fly and, for the most part, succeeded. Somewhat. But somewhere over the middle of Ponyville, he'd lost control while trying to descend and plummeted to the ground. Turns out, he landed near the library and was in bad shape. Twilight did an x-ray spell with her magic, and it turns out that he had broken his left arm in 3 places, gotten a bad concussion, and even snapped his right wing's ulna and dislocated his right shoulder entirely. Twilight interjected in the middle of Zakora's diagnosis to tell me that they'd sent news of Dad's accident to Nurse Redheart, and that they were waiting for the hospital to send a doctor who could fix Dad. As soon as Twilight finished, an ear-piercing screech echoed through the library. It came from where the front door is, or rather, where it was.
Because you kicked it down, smashed it open with my powerful fist. You have to come out my hand, Teddy Big. Sorry. Sorry. I'm getting annoyed at you, Teddy Big.
Come on, Twi, help me wake her up. Twilight and I shook Nurse Tenderheart awake.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Ow, ow, ow. Oops, sorry. Yeah.
Twilight had decided to take a
Oh, darling,
screaming loud protest clock comes and stops.
It was actually a question, girls. Oh my god, oh my god.
Dad woke Twilight. She screamed in agony.
Yet it wasn't nearly as bad as the first. I shot upright and slammed my head right into Twilight, which left a big bruise in my forehead from my horn, thus intensifying my already throbbing headache.
Ow.
Thanks to celestial unicorn horns are blunt and not sharp, but that would have ended a lot worse. But regardless, it still hurt a lot. She fell backwards on her haunches and blushed, I guess I startled her. She was rubbing her head and mumbling under her breath. I felt the pain in my back intensify once more, but it soon faded as I moved my arm around. She must have done something with her magic to fix my arm. To this day, I still don't understand magic, and I probably never will. Dashie was standing at the entrance of the library, talking to some ponies that I couldn't see. She said thanks to them and waved them off. She walked back into the library with a bandage around her hind leg. What did she do now? Dashie tends to get hurt a lot when she's doing her stunts and showing off, but she's always denied bandages and special treatment to any pony, even me. I've known Dashie long enough to know that she prefers to patch herself up.
That Pops? You okay?
I really wanted to reply sarcastically, but something inside of me decided to. Reply would suffice, I thought. My legs just backed up. Yes, I could check on it. Twilight's Dashie told me all about what had happened while I was knocked out. Dashie bringing Twilight to the incompetent nurse, and Twilight relocating her shoulder. I thanked Sakura over and over. Twilight said goodbye to Spike, leaving him to watch the library when she was gone. He nodded and continued reorganizing the library as per their instructions. Sakura went home to her hut in the forest. With the assistance of both Dashie and Sakura, I got to the hospital in one piece. Twilight opened the blue curtain with the red cross on it with her telekinesis, and then guided me into a medical tent.
Yay.
There were falls, hair parents, ponies laden with gauze bandages and broken bones. Coughing and the occasional sigh or groaning was the only
Aww.
ambient noise in the room.
This is
Twilight
so
walked up
sad.
and informed her of my apparently urgent situation. I felt fine.
Ow.
Sure, I could feel pain and everything, but
Ow. Ow. This hurt.
as a sort of tingling in place.
Bro, tears hurt, okay?
Twilight
I started Hexacon.
his hair.
We don't need enough time to go kill her.
How many times
She's
have I
probably
emphasized
already dead.
love this woman?
What do you need?
Modern herb medicine doesn't
Remember?
have anything
15 years?
We were
What can happen in 15 years? So she's probably already dead.
She was busy doing something in a different room and talking to other injured ponies. So Twilight Dashie was brought into a smaller room that had a few beds with some
Hey.
chairs. I took a seat on one of the
15 years of the future is confusing.
I sat on while waiting for Nurse Redheart.
I really need to get to the past now.
Back while humming. She began to dig the corner of her hooves into my back. My wings shot out of the holes in the fabric of my sweater that Twilight had made with her magic.
Yeah.
She took my primary.
So the first one, we did absolutely nothing. In the second one, you were true. Now the third one, you're trying to get back to the past. Yeah, back to the future. Da la 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 la. Da la 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 la.
Another nurse
Back to the future?
came into the room and
More like back to the
saw me
past.
and trotted over to us. She had a cylinder of clean gauze in her mouth. She asked me in a garbled voice to hold still and for Dashie to stop preening my wings for a moment.
Oh.
Once Dashie hopped down, the nurse began wrapping the gauze around my right wing where the bone that I'd broken was, then adjusted the sling on my left arm. She grabbed a second tube of gauze from the far side of the room and removed the spent gauze that was around my head and rewrapped my forehead with fresh bandages. Soon, she left and Dashie resumed preening my wings. Twilight was still reading her book, and I was falling asleep. Finally, after about an hour and a half, Nurse Redheart arrived with the unicorn stallion. He was a rather generic-looking doctor with a thin wire-framed glasses on his nose. He was sporting a white lab coat and had a black stethoscope wrapped around his neck.
Was the Brian dad, I presume?
I nodded and shook his extended hoof. Nurse Redheart handed me the clipboard in her mouth. I had to fill out a sheet of basic hospital procedure paperwork.
Brian? Your name is Brian? Wow. Brian? Seriously? That's the most name ever. Except for Dave. And Steve. Not Elliot. Elliot's special. My name is special, guys. Not many names get the Elliot treatment. I'm Elliot, and always will be. Elliot or ELW. East Texas houses. Nice. Elliot! No. Yeah, what those two does they we like companies. East Texas warehouses. Hey, the white ball company, I don't get it. Those are two companies that I know have their name in it. All my initials. ELW. Even though my first name is special, I had no initials ain't special. I found it funny. Okay, that was funny. That was funny. There was a house that had my name on it. For some reason. Yeah, that was nothing! Yeah, guys laugh! This is the laughing song. It's so funny you ever love funny. This is the laughing song. You never know when this is gonna stop. This is the laughing song. Don't be waiting for the Tokyo Joe. Some people like to rock a funny fine. Some people even like to give them a scare. And some people even laugh at the funny coincidence. But there's one thing that no one will ever talk. And that's comedians coming. This is the laughing song. 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 What's so funny about this man? With the hair on his head, he does know when to say things just right. The timing is the best. No one else is gonna be here. Because it's the laughing song that la 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 song la 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 the laughing song. This is the best song ever. Doing well, always well. Yeah, funny.
Twilight intently and she winked. Spike ran out of the library and jumped onto the ground. I told Pinky everything that I knew about the shifty corner. She listened without interrupting me even once. She's actually a really good listener, despite her carelessness. I told her about the plan to acquire wings, the visit to both Twilight and Zikora's, the pain of growing wings, the pain of falling a few hundred feet landing on my head, the pain of getting her shoulder relocated, the tediousness of sitting in a hospital for 2 hours, the dullness of filling out paperwork, the awkward laughter that ensued before we left the hospital.
Yeah, and the laughing song, which we just did.
I also mentioned the medicine. Pinky grimaced after she
My convenient tiny.
These are really bad. Well, good. Sort of. In weird ways. They can do crazy things. Like this one time at a party,
Twilight cut her off with a hoof to the mouth.
Okay then. Pinky, hey, look, we're here.
Pinky skipped into the bakery. We all followed her into the building and got comfortable with some pungent snacks. I noticed that neither Rarity nor Fluttershy were there inside the bakery waiting for us when we had arrived, so I decided to ask where they were.
Rarity is filling an order for Fancy Pants for a super fabulous suit.
Oh.
Pinky posed as if she were a mannequin.
And Fluttershy is taking care of washes with brand new bouncing baby bunnies.
Buddy!
Around in small circles on her hind legs.
Rarity might come later though if she gets done soon, and Fluttershy might also if the bunnies aren't being too difficult.
How about Applejack? Will she be here later? Pinky shook her head and frowned.
She's probably tired from a hard day's work on the farm looking apple trees, but maybe she'll come.
Yeah, I would be tired
Spike
for that
jumped off
too.
the Twilight and made himself comfortable on one of the smaller beanbag chairs and rolled up into a ball. He fell asleep without a word. I saw that Dashie was getting comfortable in a pink beanbag chair, so I took a seat next to her on a slightly larger green one and asked her about what had happened during her cloud duties. Her face lit up like the day she got her cutie mark. She flew up out of the beanbag at breakneck speed and smashed her head into one of the ceiling rafters. I tried to make sure she was okay, but she shook it off, rubbed her head, and began telling me about what had happened.
So there I was, alone and scared. I stood against all odds and zoomed down through the clouds. I knew it would be dangerous, but I didn't let that stop me. Danger is my middle name. Rainbow Danger Dash. You know, thinking back on it, I acted pretty awesome. All I could hear were her screams echoing in my head, the wind flowing through my mane, the speed, the adrenaline, fear, and the freedom was nothing like I'd ever felt before. It was both exhilarating and terrifying. I flew down faster and faster, the fear in her eyes from the lightning of a dark cumulonimbus, her frantic scrambling to try and fly. Without me, she would be dead. I was no more than 15 hooks away. I could feel the sheer terror radiating off of her. I began to close the gap between us when I noticed the mock cones surrounding me. I couldn't stop now or I'd be pushed out of the cone and forced in the opposite direction of her. The ground was approaching faster and faster, getting larger and larger. I could just begin to make out the details of the tree. The cone around me began to get smaller. I was getting closer and closer to a sonic rainbow.
Yes, this is a theme as well. In the first one, Sonic Rainbow. Second one, Sonic Rainbow. Third one, Sonic Rainbow. That's also a theme. What else is theme? Yeah, she's reached that note, so... I might even read it 3 times, probably.
Dashie wouldn't stop caressing her cheek. She didn't care how awkward it looked. Shortly after Dashie's story concluded, there was a knocking at the door. Pinky had begun to chat it up with a less than interested Twilight, and Dashie began to sink back into her beanbag chair, while still caressing her cheek. So I decided to answer the door. There in front of me was Rarity, Fluttershy, and a half-asleep Applejack. Behind them, in the sky, illuminated by the moon's light, was the shadow of a Pegasus pony rolling around doing flips and the likes. I turned around to make sure that Dashie was still in her chair, and she was. I invited Rarity, Fluttershy, and Applejack inside. They had all made themselves comfortable when I excused myself to go outside and watch the mysterious mare in the sky. I closed the door behind me, and as I walked over to the tables that were outside in front of the bakery, I pulled out one of the chairs, sat down, and began to watch the mare. She was a really good flyer. I did think that she was Dashie after all, so she must be good. I could just make out the color of her coat in the moonlight, bright yellow, like the center of a fire. Oh, Spitfire. That's Dashie's idol. I watched her for a few more minutes, and I soon noticed the bandages on her wings. They didn't affect her in the slightest. That must have been the mare that Dashie saved. The door behind me opened with a creak. I heard light hoof steps on the hard soil behind me. I took my eyes off the flying pony and glanced to my right to see Dashie smiling up at the sky.
She sure is something, huh?
I nodded my head as a response and looked back into the night sky. The yellow Pegasus was still doing tricks under the moonlight, wings elegantly cutting through the air. It was an amazing show. She was flawless in the way that she flew, much like Dashie. Eventually, she stopped her display and slowly descended under the moonlight, lowering herself to the ground in a spiral. Dashie and I held each other in an embrace for a few moments afterwards, partly because we were getting cold and partly because we just wanted to. It was getting rather late, and Dashie and I
Yeah, it is
were
getting
tired.
late.
We both walked back into the bakery and saw a sky blue stallion talking with Pinky. There was a crash on the ground. I looked to my left and saw that Dashie had fainted. That got his attention. He stared at me and tilted his head a bit to the left as he raised his right eyebrow. I waved, gave a small grin, and let out a brief chuckle. My hand was close to my neck as I moved my wrists left and right. A smirk formed across his visage as he trotted over to me. Pinky was still hopping close behind him and around him, talking up a storm about nonsense as she always does. When she took a breath and broke off from her train of speech, a light blue hoof ended up in her mouth.
I'm not for my hoof in a shape, but I'm a bit tied up, as you can see,
He said, struggling to keep Pinky from talking. Oh, you're Soren, one of the Wonderbolts, aren't you?
Yeah.
He nodded as he struggled to push his hoof further into Pinky's mouth.
Guess my reputation precedes me. Most ponies don't know what I look like without the suit on.
He said with a cocky grin. So, why are you here? He let go of Pinky just as she began to lick his hoof in an effort to make him stop. He shook off his hoof of drool and continued talking.
I'm here to give Rainbow Dash this, as a sign of our thanks.
He mouthed open the buckle on his dark blue saddlebags that rested across his back, and pulled out a blue and yellow jumpsuit in between his teeth. It was neatly folded in a square. The belt that kept it together had a lightning bolt as a buckle. I nearly fainted. Dashie, my nuts.
You just gave you all the little dash.
I never did want to get emotional, but I couldn't help but notice. Tears falling in the corner of his mouth.
No, Piggy! Oh, there goes Elliot again. Sissy Elliot. Don't worry, I cheated well. That's a new Catholic record.
Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh!
OMG! Man, oh my gosh, 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 oh my god. Awesome.
The next thing that happened was in a second. In that time, she managed to, 1, knock Soren and the suit in his mouth down to the floor, cause him to turn a shade of red that the light spectrum normally doesn't allow, and 3, make my heart explode once again.
Oh, welcome to the team, rookie.
A tear trickled out of my eye and my head got light. I took a seat in one of the beanbags. I rubbed my forehead and rested my head against the soft cloth. I heard garbled speech as I woke up. Then there was a loud splash, and I felt frigid water splash against my legs and chest. I opened my eyes and sat up. My head collided with something solid, something blunt, a horn. Again. I shut my eyes in pain and pushed my hands against my forehead.
Darling, you really must be more careful.
I felt a hoof lightly rest against my shoulder.
Oh,
I
gee.
looked out through the cracks in my hands and glanced up to see Rarity, her horn glowing in an azure color. A few feet behind her was Pinky. She had a metal bucket in between her hooves. On the other side of the bucket was a pair of cyan hooves. Dashie let go of the bucket as she saw me look at her. Pinky tried to hide it behind her. The off-blue color covered my forehead in a blob-like glow. All the pain in my head, even the headache that I'd had the entire day, slowly disappeared under the tingling sensation that took its place. Where did you learn how to do that?
Sweetie Belle tends to get hurt a lot. Especially during her adventures with her friends. I eventually got fed up with her whining and decided to learn some medical magic.
I shook my head around in circles a few times to make the tingling go away before I pushed my palms against the cloth and bent my knees to try and stand up. My head instantly got light, and there was yet another thud as I fell back into the chair on my ass, like a moron.
Here, let me help you.
I heard a different voice say, one that I'd rarely ever heard. There were bright yellow hooves under each of my armpits. Then there was the sound of flapping wings and a few strained grunts. I looked down and saw that I was a few inches off the ground. I touched touched the floor softly, and I regained my balance as I stood upright. I turned around to see Dashi's number 1 idol, Soren being number 2. Right behind me, standing upright on her hind legs, Spitfire.
Sup? Your Dash's dad, right?
Yeah, I am. It's nice to finally meet you. We shook hands and hooves, and I peeked over her shoulder at the clock on the wall behind her. It was a few minutes past midnight. We talked for a few more minutes before she trotted back over to Dashi, who was still slightly shaking while talking to Soren, still not letting go of his hoof. I reached into my pants pocket and pulled out the orange bottle, uncapped it, and popped another pill into my mouth and swallowed. Dashi had now been struggling to put on the Wonderbolt's uniform that Soren had given her. Both Spitfire and Soren had to help her get into it. I've never seen her happier. With a smile on my face and my heart dancing in my chest, I took a seat in a beanbag chair and let myself sink down into it. I almost instantly dozed off to sleep.
Okay.
The label on the medicine bottle was a
No! Don't go to sleep!
At some point in the night, Dashi
Oh.
she saved me from the nightmare I was having. A nightmare in which I was inside of an enormously large and indescribably dark space. I was alone, and everything was black. All I could see was myself, radiated with light amidst the darkness. I walked around the inside of the void, looking for a way out. Eventually I found it. A pair of giant wooden doors, something you'd see in a stone medieval castle during the Middle Ages. There was light seeping out of the crack in between the 2 doors. An exit. Freedom. So I thought it was an exit. I began walking towards these enormous pair of doors. I looked to my left over my shoulder behind me. I see that I still have my wings. Good. I extend my wings and begin flapping. I've mastered how my wings work in these dreams, yet in the real world, I can't even hover properly. I begin flapping harder and harder. My lungs are on fire. My wings are naked. I could feel them throbbing through my sleep. After a difficult flight up, I eventually reach a giant pair of steel rings, one in the middle of each door. I reach both my hands out and attempt to pull one of the rings in an effort to open the door. I touched the ring and found myself blinded by a white light. I woke up on the ground, lying on my back. I stood up with the help of my powerful gray wings to look around for another exit. I looked everywhere but down. I looked down, wanting to rule out the chances that the doors were somehow under me. They weren't. What I saw instead was black tendrils growing up out of the ground. They began wrapping themselves around my ankles and pulled. I got free of them easily enough for now, and I began flying. I don't know, nor did I care where I was going, just so long as I was away from those things. The tendrils caught up to me and surrounded me in the air. They wrapped around my arms and legs, squeezing tightly as they did so. Then they got around my wings. They pulled and yanked at my wings. I tried to fight it as best I could, but I knew that they'd overpower me soon enough. I felt a pain in my back. There was this sickening crunch, and the blackness began tightening around my wings. They wrapped around my wings tighter and tighter. The pain, once again, was indescribable. I cannot put into words what it felt like at the time. The tendrils began twisting and pulling even harder, yanking and turning, ripping and tearing. Crack, pop. My eyes rolled into the back of my head and I began to convulse. The tendrils had snapped my wings in half down the radial carpal bone in the middle and pulled the other remaining halves out of my back, all very slowly.
Oh, great. Oh, I think yes.
Every breath, the liquid got to my neck. I was still struggling
Hey, stop being sick. It's causing me all.
Then I felt it. Something solid wrap around my arm. It pulled me up out of the darkness. I opened my eyes. There was a pair of rose-rimmed eyes staring back at me. Dashi's eyes staring back at me, longing for me. She pulled me out of the void. The scenery instantly changed itself again.
I pulled him out of this black liquid that he was drowning in. I saw him struggling from a few hundred moves away. I flew as fast as I could to him, but the time I got
Oh!
Are y'all alright?
I lifted my head from my hands to see Applejack looking up at me. Every pony else was in a semicircle behind her, looking at me in dashed and confused faces. I shook my head. No,
What's up, Sugar Q?
she asked as she rested an orange hoof on my shoulder. I didn't know what was wrong. I just had an incredibly graphic nightmare. Why? Nightmares only happen when your subconscious is trying to tell you something. That something is wrong or something needs mending. What is that something? What is it?
Your
What
wing?
is it?
Your wing?
I in my head over and over. I began running my hands over my head, trying not to pull at my hair. The hoof on my shoulder moved. The pony that hoof belonged to walked backwards slowly. I hear another pair of hooves moving on the floor, walking towards me. I opened my eyes again and saw Twilight, her hair in a bun, and a levitating clipboard around her, as well as a red quill and an ink pot. Resting against her nose were some gray glasses. What? She looked ridiculous, yet adorable at the same time. I tried to stand up, only to be forced back into the beanbag chair by a screen of magic.
Twilight magic a purple psychologist couch and a small pink recliner out of thin air, similar to the way that Rarity would pull a couch out of nowhere when she's all melodramatic. Twilight took a seat in the recliner and levitated down. He struggled to get free of the magic onto the couch. He tried to sit up, only to be knocked back down with the magic screen. She began asking Dad questions. At first he didn't respond, but he started to open up to her with time. And with time, I mean once she spawned and began slowly tightening magical restraints around him. She began with word association. She would say words like wings and asked him what the first thing he thought of was. The wings, he replied.
Pegasus.
Who?
Dashie.
What?
It took a few seconds for me to answer this one. Cardboard box. Twilight began to ponder deeply, tapping the fetlock against her chin while she looked up.
Cardboard box? That's it.
We soon went back to the word association. I would say the first word that I thought of.
Okay.
It went on for a few more minutes. Soon we moved on to something else.
Like
We
what?
moved into an ink test. She began forming images on scrolls with her magic, wiping them away once again with magic, and creating entirely new images in a flash of purple.
Okay.
The ink blot test went on for a while, significantly longer than we did the word association for, probably because it took me so much longer to think of whatever it was that the ink blobs looked like. She began loosening my restraints with every passing second. Soon I could move freely, but I didn't want to. I felt safe with Twilight, a sort of solace. Eventually the tests came to an end with Twilight closing her eyes and dozing off into sleep, the clipboard and quill crashing to the ground, waking her up. She shook her head, her hair coming undone from the bun, and the hairpin that kept it styled flying into the corner of the room, colliding with the sleeping baby wrapped in forehead. A blush formed above Twilight's nose. She tried to play it off casually, but we all knew that she was embarrassed.
How about lunch? I'll pay.
Yeah.
My stomach decided at that moment to rumble in response. The entire room, especially Dashie, burst into laughter. Twilight levitated the sleeping dragon onto her back and began to gallop out the door of Sugar Cube Corner. Fluttershy followed closely behind. Rarity.
Okay, that's the end of part 1. See you in part 2.